With the Jets off season all but over, it's time to look back at the predictions we made shortly after the season ended. How did we do? Well, let's find out. Well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm WatchUK99. Thank you as always again for taking the time to watch these videos. Remember to join us every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. We do Wednesday Night Live with WatchUK99. We might talk baseball, hockey, basketball, football. Shoot, I'll even talk soccer once in a while. Pro wrestling if it's necessary. Why not? SummerSlam's coming up this weekend. Maybe I'll have some thoughts. So check us out every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Set your notifications up. All right. So we're going to go back and recap the off-season predictions that I made about what would happen during the Jets off-season. We just like to hold ourselves accountable on this channel because I'll talk about when I get something right, but I'll talk about when I get something wrong. I think it's only the right thing to do. So I made these predictions. I will be making Jets season predictions coming up in the next couple of weeks. Maybe once the roster has a chance to sort of sort itself out a little bit, I will come on and make some season predictions. We'll talk about stats, we'll do season record, all that fun stuff. All right, so one prediction I made. I predicted that both the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator would stay, but the Jets would hire a new quarterbacks coach. I got that partially correct, as Mike LaFleur, the offensive coordinator, was fired. Nathaniel Hackett has taken his spot. There is a new quarterback coach, and the defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, stayed in place. I predicted the Jets would bring in 2 new quarterbacks, and I predicted that the Jets quarterbacks this season would be Derek Carr, Zach Wilson, and a late-round pick. I got that one incorrect. As we all know, the Jets traded for Aaron Rodgers. It turned out even better than I could have imagined. Zach Wilson stayed, and no quarterback was drafted. I predicted that Corey Davis, wide receiver, would stay, and his contract would be restructured. That I got partially correct. He is still here on the last year of his deal. He's under the same contract that runs out after this season. I think there's a pretty good chance that he won't be a Jet after this year, but it's interesting that Davis' contract was not restructured. It seemed like Joe Douglas restructured about a dozen Jets veterans, but Davis was not one of them. Very interesting. I predicted the Jets would keep Lakentomlinson at guard. I got that correct. There were a lot of Jets fans who were looking for a way to let him go. He instead got restructured. I predicted left tackle Dwayne Brown would have his off-season shoulder surgery and return to the Jets. Got that correct. I predicted that Alijahveratucker would settle in at right guard. Got that correct. As of now, he is scheduled to play right guard. I still believe, though, if there are injuries at tackle with Brown, Becton, or some of these young players like a Max Mitchell are not ready for prime time yet, I don't think the Jets would hesitate to move AVT to right tackle if they have to. I predicted Carl Lawson would be cut, and I was incorrect on that. They're keeping him, and I'm glad that they are. I did predict the Jets would extend Quinnenwilliams, but the primary starter at defensive tackle next to him was not yet on the Jets roster. I got that correct. Quinnen gets his 4-year contract. Both Sheldon Rankins and Nathan Shepard have gone, and in their place from Seattle, we have both Alwoods and Quintonjefferson. So we got that one right. I predicted Quan Alexander would leave the Jets, but Quincy Williams would get signed to a contract, and the Jets would draft a rookie outside linebacker. Got that absolutely correct. They drafted Zairebarnes. I predicted in the secondary, LaMarcus Joyner would go, that he would leave. I got that correct. In fact, he hasn't signed with anybody. Don't know if he will again. I predicted on special teams the Jets would get a new punter, but they would re-sign Gregzuerlein. Got that correct. They let Braden Mann go. He's like the one player the Jets were not able to find a trade partner for. And they signed Thomasmorstead, who's an ex-Jet, and he already looks like quite the upgrade. I predicted that a free agent signing would be defensive tackle Poonaford of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I got that incorrect. He went to Buffalo. But what's so crazy is the Jets signed 2 other defensive tackles, most recently of the Seattle Seahawks, in alwoods and Quintonjefferson. So, hey, I got the right team, you know. What can I say? Okay, at the draft, I predicted they would draft an offensive tackle, but trade down and draft a quarterback in the 5th round. Got that incorrect. They did draft Carterwarren, and that was a draft pick they traded up for with New England to get. I never expected a pass rusher in the first round, but that's the way that it went. I also predicted finally that the Jets would have 4 night games at least, including a Thursday, a Sunday, and a Monday. And I got that correct, and it's important to know I made that prediction before Aaron Rodgers became a Jet. Okay? And they actually have 5 late games. 2 Sunday night, 2 Monday night, and a Thursday night. So all in all, we went 8, 4, and 2, 8 correct, 4 incorrect, and 2 what we'll call partially correct, like 2 ties. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that. And hey, we make more predictions over the course of the season. We'll pick every game before the year. I'll give you a game preview every single game a couple of days before the game actually happens. And remember, after the game, we do the 3 key plays you might not remember that affected the outcome of the Jets game. I usually post that within 24 hours. So I'm really excited for the football season to start. It is right around the corner. You can almost smell it. I'm so ready for it. Basically, I'm just looking to get over baseball. Well, thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.